Welcome back to the channel Coins. Today we are diving deep into one of the most fascinating small coins in American history, the legendary United States one-dime coin, especially the powerful story behind the 1977 dime, its history, its design, its mint marks, and the truth about its current market value, including shocking claims that some rare dimes could be worth hundreds of thousands or even close to $787,000. Yes, you heard that right, but stay with me because today we separate facts from myths and show you what is real in the coin market right now. The United States one dime is a 10-cent coin issued by the United States Mint, and it has a long, rich history dating back to 1796. Over the centuries, the dime has changed designs multiple times, from draped bust to seated Liberty to Barber to Mercury, and finally to the modern Roosevelt design that we still see today. The current dime design features President Franklin D. Roosevelt on the front side, also called the obverse. This design was first introduced in 1946, shortly after Roosevelt's death, to honor his leadership and his role in founding the March of Dimes organization. The reverse side shows a torch representing liberty, an olive branch representing peace, and an oak branch symbolizing strength. Together, these elements tell a powerful story about American values. Now let us focus on the 1977 dime. The 1977 Roosevelt dime was produced during a time when coins were already made from clad composition, not silver. This means the 1977 dime contains no silver at all. It is made of a copper core with nickel outer layers. Many collectors get confused thinking older looking coins must contain silver, but silver dimes ended in 1964, so if you have a regular 1977 dime, it does not contain silver. However, that does not mean it has no value. The 1977 dime was minted in three main locations: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Philadelphia coins from 1977 have no mint mark. Denver coins have a small d mint mark, and San Francisco coins have an S mint mark. San Francisco also produced proof versions which were specially struck for collectors with mirror-like surfaces and sharp details. The total mintage numbers were very high, meaning millions and millions were produced. Because of that, most 1977 dimes found in circulation today are only worth their face value, 10 cents, but condition changes everything in coin collecting. Condition is king. A 1977 dime in average circulated condition is worth only face value, but if you find a 1977 dime in uncirculated condition graded MS65 or higher, its value can increase significantly. Professional grading companies like Professional Coin Grading Service and Numismatic Guarantee Company carefully examine coins and assign grades based on strike, luster, surface preservation, and overall eye appeal. A high-grade 1977 dime graded MS67 or MS68 can sell for hundreds of dollars at auction because very few survive in perfect condition. Now let us talk about the exciting part: error coins. Mint errors can transform an ordinary 1977 dime into something extraordinary. Off-center strikes, double die errors, missing clad layer errors, broad strikes, and wrong planchet errors are highly collectible. For example, a 1977 dime struck on a wrong metal planchet could be worth thousands of dollars. A dramatic off-center strike showing clear date and mint mark can also command strong premiums. The market always rewards rarity and eye appeal. Some rumors online claim a 1977 dime sold for hundreds of thousands of dollars, around $787,000. However, there is no verified public auction record confirming a regular 1977 Roosevelt dime selling for that extreme amount. That kind of value would typically apply to extremely rare historic coins like the 1894 S Barber dime, not a standard 1977 circulation issue. Still, that does not mean you should ignore your coins. Rare, high-grade, or major error examples can indeed be worth a lot of money. Always check your coins carefully. Look closely at the date, check for doubling, inspect the edge, and examine the surface under good lighting. Use a magnifying glass and compare your coin with known error varieties. The current market value in 2026 for a typical circulated 1977 dime remains 10 cents. An uncirculated example might range from $1 to $15 depending on condition. A proof 1977 S dime in deep cameo condition could sell for $20 to $50 or more if graded high. A spectacular error coin could bring hundreds or even thousands depending on the severity and rarity. The coin market is driven by supply-demand condition and collector interest. Prices can change over time, especially if a registry set competition increases demand for top population coins. Collectors building high-grade sets often compete fiercely for the finest known examples, pushing prices upward dramatically. That is why sometimes a small modern coin can surprise everyone at auction. The story of The dime is not just about money, it is about history, craftsmanship, and the thrill of discovery. Every coin carries a piece of American history from the era of Franklin D. Roosevelt to the modern economy. The 1977 dime may seem ordinary, but hidden among millions could be a rare gem waiting to be discovered. So before you spend your change, take a closer look. You might find an uncirculated beauty sparkling with mint luster, or a rare striking error that collectors are searching for. The world of coin collecting rewards patience, knowledge, and sharp eyes. If you enjoy learning about valuable coins hidden in circulation, subscribe to Coins. Share this video with fellow collectors and start checking your pocket change today, because the next valuable discovery could already be in your hands. Today we are diving deep into one of the most mysterious and talked about small silver-colored treasures in American pocket change history, the legendary one-dime coin, especially the famous 1982 D. Roosevelt dime, and the shocking stories about rare error pieces that collectors claim could be worth life-changing money. Sometimes numbers like $7,879,767 are mentioned online, but today we separate facts from hype and give you the real market truth in an exciting journey through history, value, rarity, and collector demand. So stay with me until the end, because what you learn today might completely change how you look at your spare change. The United States one-dime coin has a rich history that dates back to 1796, but the modern design most people know is the Roosevelt dime, introduced in 1946 shortly after the passing of President Franklin D. Roosevelt, who is honored on the front of the coin. The word Liberty appears boldly along the left side of his portrait, and that Liberty design element is one of the key features collectors examine when searching for rare varieties or errors. The reverse of the coin features a torch representing liberty, an olive branch for peace, and an oak branch for strength, a powerful combination of American symbolism that has remained for decades. The 1982 D dime was minted at the Denver Mint in Colorado and carries the small d mint mark on the obverse near the date. But here is where things get interesting. 1982 was the first year the mint mark was moved from the reverse to the front of the coin, and during this transition some dimes were accidentally struck without a mint mark at all. These are known as the famous 1982 no mint mark Roosevelt dimes, and they are among the most valuable modern circulation coins if authenticated properly. But let us focus specifically on the 1982 D dime. The regular 1982 D dime in circulated condition is typically worth face value 10 cents. However, in uncirculated mint state condition, graded MS65 or higher by professional grading services like PCGS or NGC, it can sell for a few dollars, sometimes up to $10 or $20 depending on quality, luster, and eye appeal. Now when we talk about extreme numbers like $7,879,767, that figure does not reflect the realistic current market value of any regular 1982 D dime. There has never been a verified sale anywhere near that amount for this coin. However, extremely rare coins in general, like certain early silver dollars or unique mint errors, have sold for millions at major auction houses such as Heritage Auctions. But the 1982 D dime does not fall into that category unless it has a spectacular and unique mint error, such as a dramatic off-center strike, double die error, struck on wrong planchet, or missing clad layer error, and even then values are usually in the hundreds or thousands, not millions. One important factor collectors must understand is condition. Rarity grading plays a massive role in determining value. Coins graded MS67 or MS68 are far more rare than MS60 or MS63 because fewer high-grade examples survive without contact mark, scratches, or dull surfaces. Denver minted over 480 million dimes in 1982, which means the coin is not rare in terms of mintage. However, high-grade pristine examples are harder to find, especially since dimes are small and easily scratched in circulation. Another exciting aspect is error coins. Some 1982 D dimes have been discovered with repunched mint marks or slight die doubling on the lettering, especially around Liberty and in God We Trust. These minor varieties can increase value significantly if confirmed by professional graders. Also, collectors should always inspect the edge of the coin, because standard Roosevelt dimes have a reeded edge and a copper core sandwiched between nickel layers. If you ever find a 1982 D dime that appears silver on the edge with no copper stripe, it could indicate a missing clad layer error, which is highly collectible and can sell for hundreds of dollars depending on severity. Now let us discuss metal composition. Dimes before 1965 were 90% silver, but the 1982 D dime is composed of 91.67% copper and 8.33% nickel, bonded in layers, so it does not carry intrinsic silver value like earlier issues. That means its worth depends almost entirely on collector demand, condition, and rarity of error types. The history of the Roosevelt dime also connects to the March of Dimes campaign. Roosevelt's leadership in fighting polio inspired the nation, and the dime became symbolic of public support. Millions of Americans donated dimes to fund medical research, which makes this small coin historically meaningful beyond its face value. When evaluating current market value, it is important to check recent auction sales rather than internet rumors. Most certified MS-65 examples of 1982 D dimes sell between $3 and $15. MS-67 examples can bring $40 to $100 depending on market timing, and I appeal and special error examples may bring several $100s. The rare 1982 No Mint Mark dime from Philadelphia in strong uncirculated grades has sold for over $1,000 because it was an unintentional mint mistake. But again, that is different from the 1982 D coin. Hype on social media often exaggerates coin values using dramatic headlines claiming pocket change worth millions, but true coin collecting requires patience, research, grading, knowledge, and authentication. If you believe you have a valuable 1982 D dime, the first step is to examine it under magnification at least 10x. Look for strong strike full bands on the torch, on the reverse minimal contact marks, bright original luster, and any signs of doubling or unusual metal characteristics. Then consider submitting it to a respected grading service for professional evaluation, because authentication significantly increases buyer confidence in the marketplace. The coin market changes over time. Values fluctuate based on demand, registry, competition, and economic trends. Currently, the market for modern Roosevelt dimes remains steady but not explosive. However, rare condition census pieces always attract attention from advanced collectors. The key lesson here is that while the regular 1982 D dime is common and usually worth face value, exceptional high-grade or rare error examples can be worth much more, but not anywhere close to multi-million-dollar fantasy numbers unless a truly unique, never-before-seen mint error were discovered, and even then the numismatic community would need official verification before such a claim could stand. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the history and real market value of the 1982 D1 dime coin, remember that treasure hunting begins with knowledge. Every coin tells a story, from liberty on the front to the torch of freedom on the back, and sometimes the smallest details create the biggest rewards. Keep checking your change, stay informed, follow real auction data, and always verify before believing sensational claims. This is your channel Coins, bringing you honest, powerful, and exciting coin education, and who knows, the next valuable discovery could already be hiding in your pocket waiting to be found. Today on Coins, we are diving deep into one of the most searched modern coins in America, the powerful and historic 1990 P1 dime coin. This small silver-colored piece may look ordinary in your pocket, but its history, design, and market value tell a story that can shock you and maybe even make you rich. The United States dime is officially known as the Roosevelt dime, first introduced in 1946 to honor President Franklin Delano Roosevelt, who led the nation through the Great Depression and World War II, and who was deeply connected to the March of Dimes campaign fighting polio. The obverse of the coin shows the left-facing portrait of Franklin D. Roosevelt with the word liberty across the left side, the phrase "I and God we trust," and the date 1990 on the front. When you look closely at a 1990 P dime, you will see the small P mint mark just above the date. This P stands for the Philadelphia Mint, which is one of the main production facilities of the United States Mint. The reverse side features a torch in the center representing liberty, flanked by an olive branch for peace and an oak branch for strength, with the words United States of America, one dime, and E pluribus unum. This design was created by engraver John Arsenic, and it remains one of the most recognized coin designs in circulation today. Now let us talk about the real reason collectors are searching for the 1990 P dime, the current market value, and the possibility of rare error coins worth a lot of money. In 1990, the Philadelphia Mint produced hundreds of millions of dimes, which means most regular circulated examples are only worth face value 10 cents. However, condition is everything in the coin market. If you find a 1990 P dime in uncirculated mint state condition, especially graded MS-65, MS-66 or higher by professional grading companies, its value can rise from a few dollars to $20 or more depending on luster, strike, and I appeal. But the real excitement begins when we talk about rare errors and special high-grade specimens. Some 1990 P dimes have been discovered with dramatic off-center strikes, double dies, die cracks, clipped planchets, and other mint errors. These error coins can sell for hundreds and in some cases thousands of dollars depending on rarity and demand. Auction records have shown modern Roosevelt dimes in exceptional condition selling for impressive amounts when collectors compete for top population pieces. Although you may have seen big numbers like $787.9766 floating around online. It is very important to understand that such extreme prices are usually connected to either rare mint errors proof issues or exceptionally graded coins, not standard circulated pieces. For example, proof versions struck at the San Francisco Mint carry an S mint mark and mirror-like finish, and certain proof errors such as the famous no S proof dime varieties from other years have reached massive values in the collector market. When analyzing the 1990p dime today in the current coin market, we must consider three major factors: mintage condition and demand. Mintage for 1990p dimes was extremely high, which limits rarity, but survival in pristine high mint state grades becomes much lower because most coins entered circulation and developed where collectors searching bank rolls often look for sharp details, full torch band, strong strike and clean surfaces, because these characteristics can increase grading scores. The higher the grade, the rarer the coin becomes. In top population reports, coin grading companies such as PCGS and NGC certify coins and assign grades from 1 to 70, with MS 70 representing a perfect coin. Modern coins in MS 68 or higher can command surprisingly strong premiums, especially if very few exist at that level. So could a 1990p dime be worth a lot of money? Yes, but only under specific conditions. If you discover a major error such as a double strike, broad strike or missing clad layer, that coin could sell for hundreds. If you discover an exceptionally preserved mint state coin that grades among the highest known examples, collectors may compete strongly at auction. But if you find a normal circulated 1990p dime in change, its value remains 10 cents. The history behind this coin still adds meaning beyond money. The Roosevelt dime connects collectors to the legacy of President Roosevelt and the fight against polio. Through the March of Dimes campaign, millions of Americans once sent dimes to the White House to support research and treatment, and that tradition shaped the very name of the dime itself. Holding a 1990p dime means holding a continuation of that historical tribute. The composition of the 1990p dime is copper nickel clad with a pure copper core sandwiched between two outer layers of copper nickel. It weighs 2.268 grams and has a reeded edge, unlike pre-1965 dimes which were 90% silver. Modern dimes like the 1990p contain no silver, so their base metal value does not exceed face value. That is why condition and errors are the true keys to higher prices in today's market. The coin market in recent years has grown rapidly due to online auctions, social media and YouTube channels educating collectors. Many new hobbyists search pocket change, hoping to discover hidden treasure. Stories of rare coins selling for thousands create excitement, but knowledge is power. Before assuming extreme value, always examine mint mark, strike quality, surface preservation and check reliable auction results. If you are serious about collecting 1990p dimes, consider searching original mint rolls from banks looking for coins with strong full torch bands and minimal marks. Store them safely in coin flips or holders to prevent scratches, and consider professional grading if you believe you have a top condition piece. The difference between an average coin and a high-end mint state coin can mean the difference between 10 cents and hundreds of dollars, so always inspect carefully under magnification and proper lighting. At the end of the day, the 1990p one dime coin represents a fascinating mix of modern mass production and potential hidden rarity. While most are common, a tiny percentage with unique characteristics can indeed be worth serious money. That is the thrill of coin collecting, turning everyday pocket change into historical artifacts and sometimes unexpected profit. Keep searching, keep learning, and keep your eyes open, because the next valuable dime could already be in your hands. And if you enjoy deep, detailed coin stories like this, make sure to subscribe to Coins for more powerful market updates, rare discoveries and hidden treasure secrets from the world of numismatics. Today we are diving deep into one of the most fascinating small coins in American history, the legendary one-dime coin, with special focus on the 1999p dime and its current market value and hidden potential to be worth serious money. When collectors talk about small coins that carry big value, the dime always enters the conversation because this tiny silver-colored coin has a powerful history stretching back more than 2 centuries. The story begins in 1796 when the first United States dime was struck under the authority of the early U.S. Mint. The word dime comes from the French word dime, meaning tenth, because it represents 1/10 of a dollar. From the very beginning, dimes were struck in silver, making them both practical currency and precious metal assets. Over time, many designs appeared, including draped bust, capped bust, seated Liberty Barber Mercury, and finally the Roosevelt dime, introduced in 1946, after the death of President Franklin D. Roosevelt, whose portrait remains on the coin. Today the Roosevelt dime replaced the Mercury dime, and since then billions have been produced, yet some rare examples have sold for thousands, even hundreds of thousands of dollars because of condition, mint errors, or rarity. When we talk about modern dimes, many people believe they are common and worthless beyond face value, but that is not always true. Condition, mint, mark, and special varieties can turn an ordinary 10-cent coin into a collector's treasure. Now let us focus on the 1999 P dime. The P Mint mark stands for the Philadelphia Mint, one of the oldest and most important mints in the United States. In 1999, the Philadelphia Mint produced hundreds of millions of Roosevelt dimes, which means the coin is common in circulation. However, common does not mean worthless, because value in the coin market depends heavily on condition and grading. A circulated 1999 P dime is generally worth 10 cents, but an uncirculated example graded MS65 or higher by professional grading services like PCGS or NGC can sell for several dollars, and in perfect condition MS68 or above the value can climb dramatically. Auction records show that high-grade examples have reached impressive prices because collectors compete for the finest known specimens. Even more interesting are mint error coins. Some 1999 P dimes have been discovered with off-center strikes, double dies, broad strikes, clipped planchets, or missing clad layers. These error coins can sell from $50 to several $100s depending on severity and eye appeal. When collectors search through rolls of coins, they look carefully at the word Liberty on the obverse because strong sharp lettering indicates a higher quality strike and better potential value. The top Liberty area is especially important for grading, since where often appears there first a fully detailed portrait of Roosevelt and crisp torch design on the reverse are also key indicators of premium condition. Many people ask, can a 1999 P dime really be worth hundreds of thousands or even close to $787,000? The truth is that regular business strike 1999 P dimes do not reach such extreme prices under normal circumstances. However, extremely rare coins from earlier eras, such as certain draped bust or rare Mercury dimes, have crossed six-figure territory at major auctions. For example, some 1894 S Barber dimes are among the rarest and most valuable U.S. coins ever produced, with only a few known to exist selling for over $1 million in private sales. This shows the power of rarity in the coin market. Silver content is another major factor. Before 1965, U.S. dimes were composed of 90% silver, which gives them intrinsic melt value based on silver prices, but the 1999 P dime is made of a copper core with nickel-clad outer layers, so its value comes purely from collectability and condition, not precious metal content. Still, collectors love modern coins because finding a high-grade example in circulation is like discovering hidden treasure in your pocket. Change. The coin market today is stronger than ever. Online auctions, coin shows, and grading companies have created a global marketplace where rare coins can skyrocket in price. Demand for certified high-grade coins continues to grow, especially among investors looking for tangible assets. While a standard 1999 P dime may not instantly make you rich, searching rolls from banks can be exciting because you never know when you might find a mint error or near perfect specimen. The thrill of the hunt is part of what makes coin collecting so addictive. Always examine the rim for damage, check for doubling in the date and lettering, and look for unusual coloration that might indicate a missing clad layer. Using a magnifying glass or loupe can dramatically improve your ability to spot valuable details. Storing coins properly in holders and avoiding fingerprints can protect their condition, because even slight scratches can reduce grade and value dramatically. Grading plays a huge role in determining price. The Sheldon scale ranges from 1 to 70, with 70 being a perfect coin. Tiny differences in luster, strike, and surface preservation separate a coin worth a few dollars from one worth hundreds. Population reports published by grading companies show how many coins exist in each grade, and scarcity at the top levels drives competitive bidding in auctions for those building a serious collection. Focusing on top population examples can be a long-term investment strategy. Coin history is not just about money, it is about preserving pieces of the past. Every dime carries a story from the era it was minted. 1999 marked the end of the 20th century, a time of economic growth and technological change in America, making the 1999 P dime part of that historical moment. Whether you are a beginner or advanced collector, understanding the market helps you make smart decisions. Always research recent auction results, compare graded examples, and avoid cleaning coins. Because cleaning destroys original surfaces and reduces value dramatically. Remember that even common coins can hold surprising premiums in exceptional condition. Patience, knowledge and careful examination are the keys to success in the coin world. So next time you receive change, do not ignore the small silver-colored dime in your hand. Examine the date, check for the P mint mark, look closely at Liberty and the torch on the reverse. You might be holding more than 10 cents. You might be holding a future collectible that grows in value over time. This is why the world of dimes continues to fascinate collectors across generations, from early silver masterpieces to modern clad issues like the 1999 P. The potential for discovery keeps the hobby alive. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the one dime coin and current market value, history and hidden worth, make sure to like, share and subscribe to Coins for more powerful coin stories, rare finds and market updates, because in the world of numismatics, even the smallest coin can carry the biggest surprise. Today we are diving deep into one of the most underrated yet powerful small coins in American history, the 2018 P1 dime coin, a small silver-colored masterpiece that carries decades of legacy, power and potential value far beyond its 10-cent face value. This coin was produced by the legendary United States Mint and struck at the historic Philadelphia Mint, which is represented by the small P mint mark on the obverse side. Many collectors ignore modern dimes because they are common in circulation. But serious coin hunters know that hidden treasures can appear when condition, rarity, errors and demand align perfectly. The 2018 P dime features the iconic profile of Franklin D. Roosevelt, a tribute that has appeared on the dime since 1946, honoring his leadership and his role in founding the March of Dimes campaign. The word liberty appears boldly on the left side of his portrait, symbolizing freedom and strength, while I in God We Trust sits to the lower left and the date 2018 rests to the right. Along with the P mint mark on the reverse side, you see a torch in the center representing liberty, flanked by an olive branch for peace and an oak branch for strength, a powerful design that carries meaning far beyond its size. Now let us talk about value, because this is where excitement builds. In circulated condition, most 2018 P dimes are worth face value 10 cents, but when you step into the world of uncirculated grades, such as MS65, MS66 and above, prices begin to rise. Certified high grade examples can sell from a few dollars to $20, and in superb gem condition with flawless luster, sharp strike and no contact marks, values can climb even higher, especially if graded MS68 by major grading companies. And when we talk about error coins, the story becomes even more exciting. Off-center strikes, double die varieties, clipped planchets and transitional errors can push a simple 2018 P dime into the hundreds or even thousands of dollars, depending on severity and rarity. There have been modern coins in extraordinary error states that reached astonishing auction numbers, and while a standard 2018 P dime will not realistically reach a figure like $787.9764 unless it has a dramatic minting error or unique characteristic, the possibility of discovering a rare variety keeps collectors searching. Rolls every single day. Composition also matters. This coin is made of a clad composition of copper and nickel, with a pure copper core weighing 2.268 grams and measuring 17.91 millimeters in diameter with a reeded edge. And while it contains no silver, unlike pre-1965 dimes, condition and scarcity drive modern market value more than metal content. The current market in 2026 shows steady interest in high-grade modern coins as new collectors enter the hobby and registry set. Competition increases demand for top population pieces. Population reports show that the highest graded examples are limited compared to the millions struck, which means true gem condition coins can command strong premiums. The key to finding value is searching bank rolls, checking pocket change, examining coins under magnification for doubling or die cracks, and preserving uncirculated examples carefully to maintain mint state surfaces. Never clean a coin, because cleaning destroys collector value and can reduce a potentially valuable dime back down to face value. History tells us that even the smallest denomination coins can surprise the market over time as survival rates drop and interest grows. Today, a 2018 P dime might seem ordinary, but decades from now pristine examples could become tougher to find, especially in flawless condition. And that is how modern collectibles transform into tomorrow's key dates. The excitement of coin collecting is not only about what a coin is worth today, but what it could be worth in the future and how it connects you to American history, art and craftsmanship. So if you have a 2018 P1 dime coin, look closely, study its surfaces, check its strike quality, evaluate its Luster and consider professional grading if it appears exceptional, because the difference between 10 cents and serious money can sometimes be just one grade point. In the world of numismatics, keep searching, keep learning, and keep stacking knowledge, because every coin tells a story, and sometimes that story is worth far more than its face value. This is Coins, bringing you long, powerful insights into the world of rare and modern money, and reminding you that even the smallest dime can hold big potential in the current market. Today we are diving deep into one of the most fascinating small treasures in American pocket change, the incredible Roosevelt dime, a coin that may look tiny in your hand but carries a massive history, powerful symbolism, and surprising value, especially when we talk about the 2022 P dime and its current market potential. This small silver-colored coin represents more than just 10 cents. It represents history, legacy, and opportunity, and if you stay with me until the end, you might start checking your own change very differently. The story of this coin begins in 1946 when the United States honored President Franklin D. Roosevelt. Shortly after his passing, Roosevelt was deeply connected with the March of Dimes campaign fighting polio, so placing him on the 10-cent coin was both symbolic and powerful. Since then, the dime has carried his portrait on the obverse with the word liberty proudly inscribed along the side, reminding us of American freedom and strength. And when you look closely at the top Liberty design, you will notice how the word liberty curves with precision and detail, creating a timeless artistic appearance that collectors admire around the world. The coin has been struck continuously by the United States Mint, with different mint marks representing different production facilities. And when we talk about the 2022 P dime, the P stands for the Philadelphia Mint, which is one of the most historic minting facilities in America, producing coins for over 2 centuries now. You may think a modern 2022 P dime is only worth 10 cents, but here is where things get exciting. In circulated condition, most 2022 P dimes trade at face value. However, in uncirculated mint state condition, especially graded MS67 or higher by professional grading services, these coins can sell for $5, $10, or even more depending on demand and eye appeal. And if a rare mint error is discovered, such as a double die off-center strike, clipped planchet, or dramatic die crack, the value can increase dramatically, sometimes reaching hundreds or even thousands of dollars, because collectors love unique production mistakes that make a coin one of a kind. And while the number $.787.9763 might sound unbelievable for a regular 2022 P dime, extreme rarities in coin history have achieved extraordinary auction prices when condition, rarity, and demand align perfectly. Although such massive values are typically associated with historic silver dimes or rare error coins from earlier decades, the point is simple: never underestimate the power of condition, scarcity, and collector interest when analyzing any coin, including modern issues. The composition of today's dime is clad, meaning it contains a copper core with outer layers of nickel, giving it durability, and a bright silver color, unlike pre-1965 dimes, which were made of 90% silver and carry intrinsic metal value. Modern dimes rely completely on collector demand for premium pricing, and that is why understanding grading is essential. Coins without scratches, strong luster, sharp strike, and no visible wear are the ones that achieve the highest premiums. And when examining your 2022 P dime, you should look carefully at Roosevelt's cheek, jawline, and hair details, because these high points show where. First, also inspect the torch, olive branch, and oak branch on the reverse, since full band details across the torch can significantly increase collector desirability in higher grades. As coin collecting continues to grow globally, many young collectors are now searching through bank rolls, hoping to discover pristine modern coins that could become future key dates. And while mintages for 2022 P dimes are typically high, long-term survival in perfect condition is much lower than the original production numbers, which means decades from now flawless examples could become scarcer than people expect, and that scarcity often drives value upward over time, especially when combined with historical continuity. Since the Roosevelt dime design has remained largely unchanged for generations, it provides stability, familiarity, and long-term collector confidence. And when you think about it, every dime passing through your hands carries a direct connection to American history, economic growth, and personal stories from millions of citizens who used it before you. So next time you receive change at a store, pause for a moment, look closely at that small coin with liberty across the front, and remember that even a simple 2022 P dime can hold more than Monetary value: it holds craftsmanship, history, and the thrilling possibility that hidden within ordinary circulation could be an extraordinary collectible waiting to be discovered. And that is why here on Coins we explore every detail, every mint mark, every potential error, and every opportunity, because knowledge transforms pocket change into treasure and collectors into experts. So start checking your coins today. Protect high grade examples and proper holders. Stay informed about grading standards. Watch auction results and never ignore the small denominations, because sometimes the smallest coins carry the biggest surprises. Today we are diving deep into one of the most fascinating small coins in American history, the incredible story of the 2023 P. Roosevelt dime struck at the legendary United States Mint, specifically at the historic Philadelphia Mint, and why collectors around the world are searching through their pocket change hoping to find a rare example that could be worth an unbelievable amount of money. Sometimes rumors even claim values like $7.87, $97.62, and while that exact number may sound shocking, the truth about rare dimes is even more exciting, because under the right conditions, with the right error grade or rarity, a simple 10-cent coin can become a treasure worth thousands of dollars. And that is exactly why you need to watch carefully and learn every detail about this coin. The 2023 P dime continues the long-running design honoring Franklin D. Roosevelt, whose portrait has appeared on the dime since 1946, replacing the famous Mercury dime, and this change was made to honor Roosevelt's leadership and his connection to the March of Dimes campaign. The word liberty appears boldly on the obverse, along with "In God We Trust" and the year 2023, and the small P mint mark, which tells us it was struck in Philadelphia. Many people ignore the mint mark, but serious collectors know that mint location can make a huge difference in value, especially when production numbers vary or when mint errors are discovered. Now let us talk about what makes a 2023 P dime valuable. First condition is everything coins graded MS67 or higher by professional grading services can command strong premiums, because modern coins in flawless condition are harder to find than you think. Most coins from circulation quickly develop tiny scratches, bag marks, or dull surfaces, so a perfectly preserved coin with blazing luster and sharp strikes stands out dramatically. Second, mint errors are where things get very exciting. Imagine finding a doubled die error where the lettering appears slightly doubled, or an off-center strike, or even a dramatic broad strike without a proper rim. These types of errors can transform a 10-cent coin into a collector's dream worth hundreds or even thousands, depending on severity and rarity. Third, special circumstances like transitional metal errors or wrong planchet strikes, although extremely rare, are the type of discoveries that create headlines in the coin collecting world. Throughout history, rare dimes have stunned the market with astonishing prices. For example, certain key date Mercury dimes and early Roosevelt silver issues have sold for massive sums at auction, and that fuels the dream that maybe, just maybe, a modern dime could surprise everyone as well. Before 1965, dimes were struck in 90% silver, but after the Coinage Act of 1965 the composition changed to a copper nickel-clad format, which is what we still see in 2023, making modern dimes face value in metal content. Yet collector demand is not about metal alone, it is about rarity, condition, and story. The 2023 P. Roosevelt dime represents the continuing legacy of American coinage in the United States, and millions were produced, meaning most examples you find in change will only be worth 10 cents. But do not let that discourage you, because within those millions there can be overlooked gems. High-grade coins fresh from mint rolls, carefully stored away, could gain value over time, especially as registry set collectors compete for the finest known examples. The reverse design features the torch symbolizing liberty, flanked by olive and oak branches representing peace and strength, and sharp detail in these elements, especially fully separated bands on the torch, can significantly impact value. When grading experts examine Roosevelt dimes, they look closely at strike quality, surface preservation, luster, and eye appeal, and coins that achieve the coveted full bands designation often sell for a premium, because the horizontal bands across the torch must be completely separated and clearly defined, and that tiny detail can mean the difference between a common coin and a sought-after collectible. Now let us address the dramatic number mentioned earlier. Values like $7.87, $97.62 are not realistic for an ordinary 2023 P dime in normal condition. However, extreme auction records in numismatic history show that rare error coins, unique prototypes, or one-of-a-kind mint mistakes can break price expectations. So while it is important to stay grounded, it is equally important to stay observant. Check your change, inspect your mint Marks use a magnifying glass look for doubling misalignment, clipped planchets, die cracks, or unusual coloration, and if you believe you have found something special, consider submitting it to a reputable grading service, because authentication and encapsulation protect value and build buyer confidence. The coin market is driven by demand, rarity, and condition, and social media has made modern coin discoveries more exciting than ever as collectors share finds and auction houses highlight record breaking sales, inspiring a new generation to search bank rolls and pocket change. The beauty of coin collecting is that anyone can participate. You do not need millions of dollars, you just need curiosity, patience, and knowledge, and sometimes the smallest coin in your hand carries the biggest story. So as you continue your collecting journey, remember that the 2023 P. Roosevelt dime may look ordinary, but history teaches us that extraordinary finds often hide in plain sight. Keep learning, keep searching. And who knows, the next valuable discovery might already be in your pocket right now. And if you love deep dives into rare coins, mint errors, and hidden treasures, make sure you stay connected to CoinScript. Long part top Liberty coin, because the world of numismatics is full of surprises, and the next story could change the way you look at every single coin forever.